All right, what's going on? This is Youngling Jr. This is really interesting. So, Oklahoma Governor, Mr. Stanton, he granted clemency to Julius Jones hours before he's set to be executed. This was a few days ago, and Covington commuted to his death sentence to Julius Jones. And those you don't know about Julius Jones, he was actually sentenced to death for the 1999 shooting of Paul Hall, okay, in Edmond, Oklahoma. Jones has maintained his innocence. Attorneys fighting for his freedom says that the case leading to his conviction was seriously flawed. Now, questions over Jones' role in Hall murder led to the Oklahoma Pardon and Parole Board to recommend that this month that his death sentence to be commuted to life in prison with the possibility of parole. Stitt's Thursday order states that Oklahoma law does not permit the parole board to recommend that a death sentence to be commuted to life without the possibility of parole. Jones, man, and he had a friend, one of his best friends, Christopher Jordan, and they say he was probably linked to the shooting. Now, on the night, this is around the co-defendant story. On the night of July 28th, 1999, Jones said he was with his family and his parents in Oklahoma City house. They were playing board games. That's according to the Innocent Project, a nonprofit focused on exonerating the wrongfully convicted. Prosecutors have said Jones told a different story after his arrest. So around the same time that evening, less than 20 miles away, Paul Hall was pulling up to his own parents' house. Moments later, he was shot and killed and the victim of a carjacking, according to Hall's sister, which was Megan. Hall's family members testified before the parole board and said they are convinced of Jones' guilt. They said they feel re-victimized by the publicity the case has received. Chris Jordan, okay, was the co-defendant of this case. He said at the time of the shooting, a friend of Jones allegedly admitted to at least 3 cellmates that he was the one who killed Hall, not Jones. So he, kind of told on Jones, even though Jones probably had no connection to do with it. And the prosecutor said that those cellmates are not credible, according to the Associated Press. So Jordan, he actually took a plea deal. He ended up spending at least 15 years behind bars. And, and when it was the Oklahoma police was actually trying to investigate the Hall's murder, according to the reports, he said he was questioned by police, and Jordan told police the gun was in Jones' parents' house. So Jordan testified against Jones, and he received a plea agreement. So he got out of prison after serving 15 years, cooperating with the police. Officer who arrested Jones called him the N-word, dared him to run, said all kinds of stuff to him, man. So it was completely crazy, man. And also too, when he was on trial, he had too many black jurors. So we know it's statistical facts, right, that if a black defendant has a majority of white jurors, he's more prone to go to jail. As of a white defendant who has majority of white jurors, they're not going to be as convicted as easily. So one juror actually reportedly referred to Jones by the N-word and suggested that he's be taken behind the courthouse and shot, according to Innocent Project. And this is, they couldn't even really, it was like a lack of evidence anyway, too. In the description there, when Megan Hall was saying that, oh, he had a cap and cornrows, and Julius Jones at the time, they had cornrows. And they couldn't really successfully, just create some type of evidence when they do the cross-examination to see if he actually killed Paul Hall. I think in that time, they just like, hey, we know he's a black man. Hey, they were subjected to these carjackings. He had to do something with it. He had something to do with it. We gonna get some, we're just gonna get some black people, some black boys that we think they probably did this, and go ahead and lock them up, so we can have some peace in the community. And this is actually no surprise to the Alexander Ray Hinton case I actually talked about too, when he was actually wrongly convicted of a murder at a fast food restaurant, and back in the 1980s, and he actually served 30 years in death row. He actually had a book, and I read that book a couple years ago. But man, it's pretty much crazy, man, in the justice system. According to this article, says that taken together, we believe that doubt about Jones' responsibility for the capital crime is not insignificant. Indeed, this is why the Oklahoma Board of Pardons and Parole recommending commutation of Jones' death sentence. Despite troubling pressure, tactics being waged by District Attorney David Prater to cow them into rubber stamping the execution. He was supposed to be executed through lethal injections. They said more than 6.5 million people had signed petitions supporting Jones to get him out. Even celebrities like Kim Kardashian, she was advocating, putting his story on blast as well, so he won't be executed. But man, It's really amazing that, I'm just glad that the governor, through the prayers and actually, restudying this case, that he didn't get executed, man, because this is a possibility that this is an innocent man that was going to get killed, man, for something that he didn't do. So, but I understand, like, Paul Hall, they say he was a very good family man. It was actually one night they was going to go to Target for, he was going to go shopping for school shopping for his daughters. And he didn't know he was being followed, since the Target parking lot. And yeah, he got killed in his driveway, and Megan saw that. But I'm just glad that he still have a chance to fight in life, even though we still got to fight. He's still behind bars, but at least he still had life, and he can have a fighting chance to actually reduce that and maybe be a free man, because he's not the only one who is actually went on death row, that's on death row for something they didn't do, right? Like Alexander Ray Hinton, from the 1980s all the way to 2013, was locked up since he was 19 years old. He missed a significant part of his life. And this is probably this is one of the flaws of the justice system, man. Should we get rid of the death penalty? In some cases, I mean, if it's concrete evidence that someone participated in a mass shooting and killed, say if someone killed like 10 people for no reason, right? Then yes, a death penalty. Some people just don't need to have a chance to live on this earth. But I mean, if it's like a lack of evidence, you can't prove to you don't know for a fact, like, this person really, you just assuming based on racial bias that this person killed someone, they shouldn't serve the death penalty at all. But that's just how I feel about it. That's what I think is really flawed in so many ways. But they should at least have a chance to fight, and have a trial. But at the same time, though, this is a good thing. This is like a victory. So I'm glad Julius Jones, he's still alive. I understand he wanted to get out and everything. He should too. Something that you didn't do. He actually was on the verge of having a basketball scholarship too. I actually did some more research on that. And yeah, that's all I really have to say at this point right now. But you guys turn like, comment, subscribe, share this video. This was kind of historic in a way. So I'm glad that Julius Jones has another opportunity to fight, and possibly can leave and be a free man. But yeah, let's just pray that spiritually, mentally, physically, his family will hold up and he will hold up as well, especially during all that time. But yeah, man, that's all we have to say. Like, comment, subscribe, share this video. I'm out. Deuces.